Good evening, everybody, and you're very welcome this evening for our celebration as we celebrate our Community Garda Medal Award. And we welcome you this evening together with other uniformed organisations. We welcome the Steadfast Band, thank you, it's lovely to hear you as we are arriving, and all the other uniformed organisations. You're very welcome. And you know, uniforms don't make heroes. Character, resilience, practice, compassion, courage, and integrity do. And in a time when mental well-being is so much in the forefront of our minds, belonging to an organisation and being part of a team, together we are more resilient and capable as we belong in our different organisations. And Brené Brown says, true belonging doesn't require you to change who you are, it requires you to be who you are. And connections within a group and organisations happen when individuals feel safe being their authentic selves, and that is what builds trust, unity, and lasting bonds, and ultimate community well-being. And courage and bravery are not the absence of fear, but the resolve to keep going in spite of it. And integrity is not the absence of mistakes, but the courage to stand accountable and true. And this evening we are here to celebrate and appreciate our community guards, who in choosing to wear their uniform, choose commitment and calling, courage, ensuring safety, stability and peace, which we don't want to take for granted. So we are grateful for you this evening. And now I'm just going to ask Superintendent Wolf, I was wondering, was I going to?
Oh yeah.
No. Before I ask Superintendent Wolf, Viv, did you want to say something before a few? Yeah.
Good evening, one and all. It is with immense pleasure that I stand here once again, a year later, with my fantastic Frascati team, to welcome you all here this evening to Frascati, to celebrate such a momentous moment in our calendar. We're truly honoured to be involved. And thank you to Alan Morris for once again having faith in us to host you all this evening. To Superintendent Wolf, your sergeants, your esteemed police force, to all our uniform services, to our council members that are here this evening, and our elected representatives going through a pretty busy election period, and all our business leaders from Blackrock and our community. I'd like to say, on behalf of Frascati, thank you so much for coming to join us this evening, to our band who have welcomed us, and to all of my team. I really am honoured to be part of this auspicious occasion, and thank you and good luck. And I really have to say, we don't have a relationship with the uniformed forces, we have a partnership, and as a business leader in Blackrock, I want that to continue. Let's continue this partnership, and thank you for all that you do to us. Enjoy your evening.
And before I invite Superintendent Wolf up to speak to us, Minister of State Jennifer Carroll McNeill is going to come and say a few words. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Denise, and thank you to Alan again for organising this wonderful event, and to Viv for hosting it. And it's wonderful to see the community coming here together to celebrate our one of our most important, if not our most important, community organisation, which is on Garda Síochána, and in particular our community police. Thank you for allowing me to speak early this evening, because I am losing my voice talking to people all day, every day, so I really appreciate it. But the one thing that I wanted to say was to on Garda Síochána was thank you. I know that you are out in the community every day, but you may not get the feedback that we get about you and how you make people feel by doing what you do, not just what you do, but the way that you do it. People feel safe. people feel reassured. And it is always the biggest test of a state, is most people live their lives and they don't ever really need the state to get involved. It's only really when something goes wrong, in somebody's life, that they have to turn to the state in some way. And when they do turn to the state in some way, they are often afraid, they are often fearful, they are often traumatized or upset. It is the way in which you put your arms around them, it is the way in which you respond to them and how you make them feel at those very difficult moments that are truly, truly remembered. And I have had countless experiences of people in this community telling me how they were made feel by An Garda Síochána at sometimes very difficult moments, as well as how they're made feel more generally by just your very presence and the excellent work that you do. So it's important to really recognise how the community feels because of you, because of who you are, because of the way that you approach your work, and because, most importantly, how you make them feel in the way that you go about it. So I just want to say thank you, and please keep going. We know that there are some very busy days like Halloween there a couple of days ago. I know that's one of the busiest, possibly most difficult nights of the year, along with St. Patrick's Day, but we all know exactly how much work is involved and how much commitment. And I just want to say on behalf of the community, a really, truly genuine thank you so, so much. Thank you.
And now I'd like to invite up Superintendent Wolf, who's going to tell us the who and why. And then also Katrina Murray, we welcome you this evening, who is going to present the medal. She's from the Interim Assistant Director of Nursing from the Blackrock and the Wicklow Hospice.
Hi, good evening. Thank you very much for those kind words, Minister, really, really appreciate it. Gordon, welcome to Superintendent here in Blackrock. So thank you very much for the invite. Minister, Councillor, local representatives, members of the public, members of Frascati, and indeed my own guys, members of Garda Síochána. I'm really delighted to be here tonight. And just really, I suppose, a bit of news from An Garda Síochána. In the last couple of weeks, we've slightly restructured the way we operate out here in the Blackrock and Dún Laoghaire area. And heretofore, the guards and myself were responsible for everything from internally, from HR and serious assaults, writing checks for paying the lighting bill across in Blackrock, doing frauds. We did all these manner of things. But now we've a brand new business services area in Dún Laoghaire that's taking care of all that, and that will allow me and members of Garda Síochána to be out in the community. Personally, I'm going to get me out from the desk and away from the computer and the guys, and we'll be out and about, and we want to really, we're stripped back to our core function of community policing, of core police work, responding to your calls and in traffic, and hopefully you'll see the benefits of that in the coming months. And I suppose I mentioned community there, and really we see ourselves so much as part of the community. I myself, I'm local, and some of the members of the community policing team are local. Some live in other areas but are equally part of the communities there. And I suppose I always think, everybody knows a guard, everybody's cousin is a guard, or their aunt, their uncle's a guard, or their under 14 rugby coach was a guard. And I think that really exemplifies how much we're part of the community. And we really, really hope and keep working to hope that we're seen that way as well. It's so important, really, as the Minister said, about we want to make people feel safe. The vast majority, huge parts of this district and our country are so great areas, but it's really about how we make people feel. So when we're part of the community, we can get the information if something untoward happens, if some crime happens, but also we can get out there and let the community know that it is a safe area, that it's a great place to be. And I suppose that's why we see ourselves for the last 100 years as so much part of the Irish community. I suppose if I move on to talk about the award tonight, and I'm delighted to say, with thanks to Alan, that Garda Brendan Dowling is the recipient this year. So Brendan, if you just want to come up to me, I want to say a few nice words. So Brendan is a native of Kilkenny, a very good golfer, probably a good hurler as well, but an extremely good golfer, and has represented the organisation a couple of times. Came to us, I think, around 2017, 2018, and looking at Brendan's file really over the last couple of this afternoon, I could see commendations, you know, for capturing an armed robber in 2018, disarmed a suspect in a shop in 2020, captured a robbery from a local spar up there in Leopardstown in 2022, and more recently a burglary suspect, among several other commendations for his work. And this sort of frontline police work, catching bad guys, really is really what brought Brendan to our attention internally, and say he's such a great, he's more to contribute, you know, maybe in the policing and in the community policing element. And really, when that history of captures is combined with, I hope Brendan doesn't mind saying it, a lovely manner, an empathetic demeanour, calm and relaxed, and really, really good guy to be around, because in community policing we're looking not just for the response, but maybe a week or two later to go call up to a victim again and check in, and to know the groups in our community, you know, to bring the men's shed to Evoca, as I think you did recently, you know, and these sort of things. But I suppose when we moved to the award tonight, we really focused our minds for, as Brendan as a nomination and a recipient for the award, was his work there in Slorgan Park Avenue, just at the top of Blackrock, there in the rehab centre with people with acquired injuries or vulnerable people. When a supervisor saw Brendan in operation, his empathetic manner, his patient and understanding way that he brought to this, and sort of brought in Garda Síochána into the rehab, it marked him out as someone really special that we're so lucky to have. So I think if we want to pass on the award to
and I'm the Assistant Director of Nursing for Blackrock and Wicklow Hospice. I'm joined today by my colleague Mijo John, who's one of our senior nurses in the inpatient unit. You're all very welcome to what is this very special occasion. We are delighted here to present this award to Garda Brendan Dowling as a representative of the uniformed organisation on behalf of Blackrock Hospice. Our Ladies Hospice and Care Services is acknowledged as a centre of excellence that focuses on compassionate care, comfort, dignity and quality of life for those living with a life-limiting illness. We also extend our support to families, loved ones and caregivers by offering them a safe, supportive space to help them navigate this challenging journey that they are going through. Blackrock Garda Station has been a pillar of support to us since 2003. Your duties and responsibilities have been invaluable to us, and your work can often go silent and unrecognised. On Garda Síochána have always been instrumental in supporting our events year in and year out. The responsiveness to our need, whether in person or on the phone, has made a significant difference to each and every one of us. Over the years, we have built and strengthened the relationship to ensure a connected community. On behalf of everyone in Blackrock Hospice, I want to express our heartfelt thanks to Blackrock Garda Station for their unwavering support, dedication and kindness. We are deeply grateful for all, so thank you very much.
I'll just say a small few words. I didn't have much time to prepare, but I'd just like to thank Alan and Viv for the event, and I suppose the band have been wonderful. Particularly, I suppose, my organisation, it's been an honour to work on over 7 years now, and the last year or so in community policing, which is a real eye-opener about how many groups there are in Blackrock and support for people, whether it's the elderly or people with disabilities. There's far more groups than I could ever imagine, and that we get in touch with, myself and my partner Dave, more than I think when I was on the regular I didn't realise how many supports there were, but it's great to be involved and chatting to all of you. There's a couple of familiar faces here today and a couple of people that we've yet to meet. I'm sure we'll get around to you before Christmas, and I'd just like to thank my superintendent as well and the shopping centre for hosting us. Thank you.
Invite the representative from each of the uniformed organisation, please, to come up if you'd like to come up and stand over here. And then as you come forward to the mic, if you could tell us your name and the organisation you represent, and then your few words, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. So I'm Liam Stewart. I'm one of the community engagement officers from the National Ambulance Service. And in the ambulance service, my role is to help make sure that if there's an emergency in the community and somebody needs CPR, so if there's a cardiac arrest, that they get the best possible chance of survival. And a big part of that is often played by members from Garda Síochána. So there's 5 key steps in that chain of survival, which is calling for help, starting CPR, using a defibrillator, advanced care, and then the post-resuscitation care. And the first 3 links are frequently carried out by members from Garda Síochána. And I think often maybe people who aren't in the emergency services don't realise how often the guards are a key role in that. Very often recognising the emergency, so they're called to somebody who's on the street, who's not well. They're the ones who notify us and start CPR to get a defibrillator there. But not only that, they're often the last people to leave. So the members of Garda Síochána are the people who have to stay there, look after the family, notify the family, and make sure that everything is followed up on afterwards. And we went to the hospital, but they're the people who have to follow up and look after it. And I don't think maybe the members who attend these instances realise or appreciate how much we get from the support that you have there. And I was just thinking on the way up, the last 3 cardiac arrests I've been at, there was Gardaí there before me for 2 of them, and I looked for them for the 3rd. And as soon as you turn up, especially as a solo responder when we're on our own in the car, we're particularly appreciative of the help, because as soon as you turn up, we're not under pressure anymore. We have help, we have colleagues, we have support. And I've never been in a situation where I've looked at a guard and asked them for help and haven't done something at one of those instances. It might be moving a car, it might be calling the family, it might be getting rid of a dog out of the house, it might be supporting somebody, it might be getting medical history, it might be moving furniture, but no matter what we ask, we've always been supported, and we do appreciate that in every instance. So on behalf of the National Ambulance Service, just to congratulate you on the receipt of the award tonight, and to thank you and thank your colleagues for everything you do to support us. Thank you.
Hey, good evening all. I'm Philip Bradley. I feel a bit of a fraud here because I'm only in the area since July. I'm the new parish priest in Newtown Park and Foxrock, so thank you to Alan for the invitation. I'm very pleased to be here. I spent 10 years in Terranure, and the Garda station was about maybe 20 yards away from the house, so I had great contact with the Terranure lads and hope to have great contact here also. I always think of the Garda Síochána are the guardians of the peace. Peace that we presume is there already, not enforcers of the peace, but guardians of. And the peace that is normal for society, that helps us thrive. So we try to maintain it, we try to support. Peace without justice is oppression. So our Gardaí, who are always available, our community Gardaí, who are more and more available, congratulations to Brendan on his receiving this award. We safeguard the community, which gives everybody a sense of their own security, their own comfort, and an area then in which people can actually thrive. And each of us wants to thrive. So congratulations to the Garda Síochána broadside, but congratulations to Brendan particularly for this award, for his wonderful community work among us. Bravo.
Good evening everybody, my name is Graham Hone. I'm here representing Blood Bikes East. All those bikers we come close to being known as the guards, and it's great when we're out on our bikes sometimes that we find it quite funny that the odd car slows down for us, so I know what it's like to be ran as a guard out there. But look, more seriously, we're a charity that's been around since 2012. We operate 365 days a year, transporting samples, be it blood or breast milk, or just samples for young children at home who can't make it to Crumlin, who just need a blood sample. We'll go and collect that as well. So we're on the road a lot. We have 9 bikes and 5 cars on the road 5 to 7 days a week. But when we're on our travels, and it came home to me, especially during COVID, that I met so many guards at checkpoints, and each one of them, without fail, when they stopped me, said thank you for what you're doing. So can I use this opportunity not only to say thanks to those people who stopped me, but tonight for all that you do, because every time I meet you at a petrol station when I'm waiting for a call, the odd card will come in and they'll always smile and say thank you as we're buying our Mars bars or coffee to get through the night's duty. But thank you for all that you do, not on behalf of Blood Bites as well, but also on behalf of the community. As you know, listen to what Brendan did there, you know, armed robbers and whatever, what goes on, and we sleep quietly in our beds knowing that we're kept safe by what you do, all of you. So thank you so much for what you do. It's always recognisable, and on behalf of the community, thank you. And thank you. Well done, Brendan.
My name is Peter O'Callaghan, and I am a member of the Steadfast Band. Just a bit of history. Started in 1951 in Dunleary. We arrived in Blackrock somewhere in the 70s when we had to move, and we took up home in the Methodist Church, which is now Urban Junction, and we're still there. We share the upstairs of Urban Junction with Simba Creche, which is great because I get to band early on a Tuesday night when we meet. And when I've got all the chairs out, I then play with the toys in Simba, so well done that one. We meet on Tuesday night. You've heard us. We have a training band which meets at 6:30. You're welcome. Just the doors open, drop in. If you want to play, we've got instruments. We've got the expertise to teach you. Age is not a deterrent because we've got some very young people here and we've got some people mature. Lots have been said about the Guards tonight. All good. But Tuesday nights, we start at 8 o'clock and people arrive in at 8:05, 8:10. They can't find parking. So what I want the Guards to do is to make sure Tuesday night everybody is out of that section of road so we can park and get on with band practice.
We'll give you free parking on Tuesdays.
Seriously though, on a personal note, I had occasion to come across the Guards some years ago, and I realised then how vital the work that they do and how sympathetic they were to what was going on in my life at the time. And it's great to see them being awarded tonight. Congratulations to the Guards. I don't ride a bicycle anymore, so that's another thing out of the way because I never had a backlight. I always wore black. But there we go. So congratulations and well done.
Well, good evening. My name is Mickey Walker. I'm here to represent the law-abiding side of the motorcycle clubs. We try. And I'm thankful to be able to give my thanks publicly to the Garda and for all they've done. And as a father, as a husband, as a grandparent, and all just in general keeping our communities safe. But also, especially on behalf of our motorcycle, the Christian Motorcycle Association, and the help that you've been to us. We've had some runs where we've met at the Papal Cross, and then we've had to make our way out of the city, and you provided escort for us, you know, so that we could get out intact. And you stayed with us until you were unable to keep up with us, and then you fell off. But we really appreciated that. Now, you could probably tell by my accent that I'm from a place where they've been using this language, defund the police. Have you seen that? Well, I'm here to say refund the police. And to give you everything that you need, one, to protect yourselves, okay, to protect yourselves, because I realize that if something happens to me, you're going to rush in and protect me. And I want you to be safe because I'm going to jump behind you because I've got the black on, you've got the fluorescent, they're going to see you first. So I want you to get everything you need for you to be safe and also to keep the community safe as well. And may we all be behind that. And so I thank you very much for all you've done. I want to thank those of you who have scraped me off the pavement, the times I've had my accident on Dorset Street, Ballyboden Road, and various places around the city. I've had my collisions, and you've come and scraped me up and got me to the hospital. So a shout out to those of you that have helped me. And I want to give a special shout out to Ben. He was the first one to arrest me. When I first came here 40 years ago, I'm a street preacher, and he arrested me for obstruction. But Ben, wherever you are, for the next few years, he helped me greatly. He would come by the open air and he would encourage me. Thank you very much, Ben. And I'd also like to give a shout out to the Garda officer who stopped me at the Spalwell roundabout when I was coming off the M50 and I was going just a little bit too fast. And we had a great conversation admiring my motorcycle, but then he sent me off with a very stern, "Mickey, please don't do that again." And I haven't. When I come off the M50 towards the Spalwell, I always make sure he's not standing behind the bus. So it worked. And then lastly, I'd like to thank the Garda who stopped me in the bus lane in Parnell Square as I was coming down the other day, and he pulled me over on my motorcycle, and when I told him that I was identifying as a bus, he said, "Well, that's fine." And he let me go. And so, isn't it great being woke? Isn't it wonderful? So I would just like to thank all of you, a sincere thanks for what you do. And for those of you that haven't had the opportunity to scrape me off the ground, and the number of times I've been knocked down and gotten back up again, I've probably given every one of you one of my little leaflets here, my journey. So I brought one for everybody in the crowd if you'd like to have one. It talks about how I was almost friends with Elvis Presley, okay? And how I grew up with a speech impediment, and then how Jesus changed my life. And so having mentioned Jesus, I would just like to say a word of prayer for you. May I? May I? Father in heaven, I just thank you for the men and women who protect our community. And I pray you'll protect them and their families. And I thank you for their service. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dee Jeffers and I am a voluntary first responder. And following on from Liam, so I am in the community, and if a call comes in, if someone dials 999 or 112, I am dispatched if I'm available, and some of my colleagues, there's 8 of us in our group, and it's usually maybe in someone's house in the community, maybe someone has collapsed in the street, and it could be anything. Sometimes the guards are there before us, and sometimes they arrive after us. And we can be called to very difficult situations, a cardiac arrest, maybe someone has just collapsed, we're trying to get medical history. But very often the guards in the community, you are a very welcome face to the people that are there as well. Family can be afraid. If it's in someone's house like that, we need help. We need help to get information. And I just want to encourage you and say that on behalf of first responders who are volunteers, when you come along, we're very relieved and also thankful for your experience and expertise, and the families really appreciate it as well. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And now we've welcomed our politicians, and we're going to call on Mr. Cormac Devlin, who's going to come and say a few words to us. Thank you. Welcome this evening. Nice to see you.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for your invitation here once again to be with you this year. And I want to thank, first and foremost, Garda Síochána in the area for all that you do. Like the previous speaker, I don't know how many times you've been stopped, and it seems you got away with a lot. But unlike him, thankfully I haven't had those brushes with the law. But now that I'm driving a branded vehicle around the area, I got to be very careful because there's no matter what I say, it's very clearly it's my vehicle. Just to say to you, I think As I said last year to this event, this is so, so important, not only for the recognition and the work, outstanding work of the community Gardaí and indeed all the Gardaí. I was at a public meeting last night where we were discussing issues in a particular part of this wider district. And you know, the work, the dedication, of course there was concern and there were issues raised from members of the public, but by and large there was praise along with that work. Acknowledgement of the dedication and indeed sheer determination of the Gardaí to try and actually make the area safe, to make people feel safe, and indeed to give a presence across the wider area. So for this evening, it's not that often that we politicians get to acknowledge the fantastic sterling work of An Garda Síochána. But here in this area, we get to do that now, thankfully, thanks to the community, indeed all the businesses, for this particular opportunity to say thank you to An Garda Síochána. The previous gentleman also mentioned the defunding of police services, not just across the water, well, in both directions. In fact, I think there has been funding obviously given to An Garda Síochána, but there's also been additional resources, and we want to see that progress even further for their own protection and indeed for the protection of the community. But tonight is not about that. Tonight is more about to acknowledge the work of An Garda Síochána day in, day out, whether it's the community policing or indeed the regular on the beat or the detectives in the community. Really just to say thank you from each and every one of us to all of you in uniform, and to those of your colleagues who can't be here tonight, I want to say thank you very much for all that you do. Gur míle maith guibh.
And again, a reminder that it's not the uniforms that just don't make the heroes. It's your character, your resilience, your practice, your compassion, your courage and your integrity, forged together by your day-by-day challenges that you overcome, and your readiness to serve us, the people. So thank you again to our community guards. And I'm going to invite all the uniformed organisations to come and stand up here by the Steadfast Band. Come and join us up here if you're part of the uniformed organisation, and the Steadfast Band are going to play for us.